new life for a historic home. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Delaware State Representative Dennis Williams. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We're talking about the Darley house, but give us an idea as to who occupied this house. And people may be familiar with his work, but they may not know his name.
Felix Darley was the owner of the Darley house. He lived in the 1800s and was a world-renowned illustrator in the mid-1800s, illustrating books for Charles Dickens, among many others. Most people have seen his drawings before, but don't necessarily know the name. So it's a little treasure in Claymont.
A little treasure, but
Yes.
it took the work of the state and many others to get this home renovated.
Yes, the state has come in and renovated most of the house, the ground floor, handicapped accessible bathrooms as well, and it is now being used by the Claymont Renaissance Development Corporation, which is a nonprofit whose goal is to work with the Claymont business owners to develop Claymont, to bring more businesses there, to really make it a community again. And there's an art museum as part of this on the ground floor, and the Claymont Historical Society has some displays there. So it's really a resource for the neighborhood.
Now, this is, as we mentioned, recently renovated, and
Yes.
it's now open to the public. Give us an idea as to what this includes. I know it has just opened.
It has. There's an office for the Redevelopment Corporation, and there's a couple of rooms there that has artwork right now. But it can also be used as a meeting place. The Claymont business owners will be meeting there as well. So it is. It's a good resource.
And a chance to re-explore an illustrator that lived and worked right here in Delaware.
Yes, amazing prints that they have there. Some of the originals.
Let's talk about some of the other things happening right now in terms of the work happening in Delaware. There's actually some controversy over the state line, and this is an issue we've talked about in the past as it related to a road. Right now we're talking about a waterway in terms of a water retention pond. Now, we've talked about state boundaries hundreds of years ago. I thought this conversation was over.
Not quite. And this is one of the many interesting things that I deal with in the district. Constituent services really is the biggest part of what I do, whether it's roads or potholes or solving other problems that people may call. There's a retainage pond that's in a development that borders Pennsylvania, because the district is the very top of the state. And half of the pond is in Pennsylvania, half is in Delaware. Newcastle County has a program to help clean that up, to help prevent flooding. Pennsylvania does not. And so just like a couple years ago working with the Beaver Dam Road, Pennsylvania repaired that road and Delaware will maintain it because part of it went into the state of Pennsylvania. So I'm now working with Pennsylvania representatives and township officials to try to resolve this issue. And as a last resort, something we talked about before was, we'll just change the state line, put all of it into Delaware, and we could deal with it that way. It's actually been done in the past in other areas, and if we simply pass a law here and in Pennsylvania, we can move the line 100 feet or so and resolve the problem. Hopefully we won't have to do that. We'll get Pennsylvania to agree, and we'll try to clean that up and make it safe for the neighborhood so that it serves the purpose that it's supposed to do, keeping flooding from happening.
So cartographers, get ready. The state line may move.
That's right. Well, you know, with something just happened in North Carolina not long ago where part of the state that had been there a long time is no longer there, because with satellites and technology, they can be much more precise, down to the inch of where the line actually is.
So just part of what can actually happen as part of constituent services.
Yes.
And we just have a few seconds left, but this is something that you work on a regular basis. But if people do have concerns in their own communities, you say reach out to you and your office.
Absolutely. Give me a call. My phone number is up there. I just resolved an issue, once again with Pennsylvania, because we border there. A Delaware resident, was a bus driver. There were some issues with the Pennsylvania side of it, and we resolved all that, and she got to keep her job.
All right, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Delaware State Representative Dennis Williams. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Newsmakers.